Hey everyone. Now we're going to get into one of my favorite aspects of the game, and that's the races themselves. As I mentioned in the introduction, there are 17 playable races, with an 18th being playable in a special scenario. The base game has 10, the first expansion added an additional 4, and the second expansion added another 4. They're all extremely different, whereas in a lot of games, they tend to just have different art and, maybe a few different things. These races are very distinct from one another, and not too distinct where you have to relearn the game every time you play as a different race, but just the way you approach the game and strategize definitely involves, consideration for what race you're playing, and you'll definitely favor some races over the other. I tend, kind of after studying the races, I tend to think that categorize them to the term that they best utilize out of the 4X categories. You have races that are very hell-bent on extermination. You have races that are very good at exploiting the game rules. You have races that are good at expansion, and not necessarily any that are good at exploration. But anyways, so as I showed before with the setup, you have your race sheet. The parts that really distinguish your race, because all of this is the same. This is the same, your trade area is the same, got some great art. And you even have, each race has its own individual history that's really fleshed out on the back. And these are great to read if you're a content lover and consumer and you have to consume everything. There's a lot of great writing and text there. This fiction is pretty awesome. But what differentiates the race are these parts up here, and the race technologies that came with the first expansion, as well as your home system. So these are the humans, the Federation of Sol, which is the Sol system. Your home planet is Jord, that you start with, which has 4 resources, 2 influence. So that is your starting planet here. You start with a space dock, 5 ground forces and 2 carriers and a destroyer. So, kind of like the StarCraft Terrans, the humans are very similar. They're very ground force oriented. They're also kind of a generalist race. They don't have any specialty or advantage in any one area. Their special abilities are, there's 2. As an action, you may spend 1 command counter from your strategy allocation box to place 2 free ground forces on any one planet that you control. So that's part of that proliferation of the human race, which they are the most proliferated race in this galaxy, as with most fictions. We tend to like to spread ourselves around. But unlike other fictions, the humans aren't painted with this hero, the savior of the galaxy approach. They're actually kind of dicks in this fiction, and they joined the Galactic Council late and ended up being traitorous bastards. And so they're not completely hated by everybody else in the galaxy, but they're definitely not saints by any stretch of the word. The starting technologies that every race has different starting technologies. They have the anti-mass deflectors, which allows them to move through asteroid fields, and they have cybernetics, which is +1 on combat rolls for fighters. So their race technology is the Mark II advanced carriers, cost 4 resources, and your carriers now have a capacity of 8 and gain the sustained damage ability. So that is amazingly nice, especially because carriers you have to defend them so well because they cost a good amount of resources, and that is the main way that you land and conquer planets and expand your resource pool. So that's the humans. There's no right or wrong way to play them. It's just kind of however you want. You can be very defensive. You can be very aggressive. Like I said, they're kind of a generalist race. They're really good at anything, and that's, we know ourselves so well, so it's not really going to give, it'd be kind of strange to give the humans an actual specialty. So anyways, on to the next one.